CSS battle time, and we have a striped egg. Cool. All right. Okay. This is pretty cool. I feel like the way this curve is coming, like this is a circle, and then this would be an ellipse. So I wonder if we forego the 1Q, like let's just target the HTML and put a background on it. If we can do this with a radial gradient still. Don't do 1Q. I almost did 1Q. I wanted to do 1Q, but we're not going to do that. Let's say 100 pixels. It's not enough, I don't think. And then we're going to do this color, 0. Okay. So what we'll have to do is actually do some margining. Let's go, I think it's going to be 300 about. Oh, no, 150. 150. So it's doing 150 across, but I think if we margin it, we can get the right kind of dynamic. So let's stretch it top and bottom. Yeah, there we go. So let's shrink that radius now. Back down to 100, 110. All right, let's increase. 120. All right. What do we got? Am I past it? I'm over it. So let's go 115. All right. So let's see. Do I need a wider radius? And then smaller. I mean, that looks pretty good. Ooh. Closer. This, I might not do this just because of the, you know, the back and forth on it. I think it is possible, and it might be the move, because then you could do the body with this same background, and then, you know, depending on the size of the body with a border on it, I think you could get it just right. But what I might do is just size the HTML and then use a radial gradient on the body with that background. Problem is, if you just put a background on the body and not the HTML, things get all wonky now. Really wish I could find the combination that gives the right radius. I just don't know if that's going to work. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Let's make the background red. Let's do border. 5-inch solid and purple. I'm going to do this kind of the easy way with the border radius. I think that's just what I'm going to do, 2-inch. All right, and we are just seeing, did I get the colors backwards? No, I did not. So I'm targeting HTML. The background's supposed to be, I expect these colors to be reversed, is what I'm expecting. And why I'm seeing that, let's go 1-inch. That's why I'm seeing that. The border was so huge that we could not see everything. Okay. Let's do an outline. I wanted to do border because I was going to do border on the other one. You know what? Let's just step it all up a level, right? think the radial gradient is the move if you can figure out those combinations. But we're gonna do kind of a simple, there we go. Yeah, this is getting much less complex and much easier to inch. Let's margin it and see if that border radius actually works. So let's go 0 on the top and bottom, and like 50, 80, 100. Yeah, looks almost right. Let's do 10. Nope. 5. Okay. 95. There we go. That's the shape we want. All right. And then what we're going to have to do is the paragraph tags will... Ooh, I can't... I mean, we can do this flattened border shape. It's possible. But this is going to need a radial gradient on the paragraph tag. And that's where this solution ends up being real expensive, because if you look at the diff, you can see these little cutouts in the corners. Let's turn this off. This right here is where the issue would lie, is the top and bottom could be cleaned up, but if I just leave it, yeah, if I just put a border radius on this, yeah, this would be curved right here. I might be able to get away with it, but I think I'm going to do the radial gradient because with my luck, it just wouldn't work. All right, let's put the paragraph tag in the markup. You know, can't forget about that. Okay, come on, back down here. All right, so what are we doing here? We are doing a background of radial gradient. This time I think we do want a circle. We want the proper brackets 1Q to make it a circle, and then we are going to do our red at 100 pixels and then our purple. And I won't need a 0 because of the 1Q value. It's slide and compare. I guess I don't really need that. Let's turn off the diff. I need height to show up. And we're going to need padding on the body. I think what I'll do is I'll use padding on the body to position it. You know, like to get the paragraph tag to move down, because, yeah. Or actually, there is one thing that does work. I hear that if you do a dot, and it does show up, but sometimes it's not an issue. And maybe I can use the color property to hide that. Well, let's test it. That breaks the margin collapse as well. So height of 50. We don't see anything yet. Let's give it an outline. It's just so much easier to see and manipulate in that state. Okay. So we have no width either. I was expecting it to be the full width of the body, because we haven't overwritten margin yet. Okay, so there we go. We want it to be a little bit taller than that, and a lot wider. 0 and negative 100. There we go. Something like that. It doesn't matter really what I can actually probably get away with 90. Or anything wider than that circle will be sufficient. Now, if we have our margin, now if we do 10, see, we're getting collapse. It's just collapsing the body. But let's put the period in here and just test this theory if it works. Ooh. Nope, still doing weird things to the body. All right. Interesting. Okay, so that pulled it back down. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. That margin collapse is real rough. Okay. Okay, so let's turn that back down. We're gonna put padding up here. That's right. Oh, but then I have to put padding in the paragraph tag to override it. But I think actually I don't. That should give me, I can give it the height I need and then use margin, I think. Yeah, now margin works how we would like it to. Good. Okay, so we're actually okay because I'm using padding to get the height. I can probably just use it instead of this extra. Yeah, I need, wait. Let's see. If I give it extra padding here. Oh yeah, that's the wrong direction. Okay. What are we doing? Besides, I don't really lose much there. Let's just get this into place, and then we can... Let's get this outline out of the way. I don't need it. We need this to be bigger. Ugh. We are getting... Oh, I know why. I know why. There we go. Just needed the bottom margin to not be extending things down as we push down. What are we seeing? I don't... Okay. We need to... Let's get our borders on here. That's what I need to do. That's going to move everything around anyway. So 25 pixels solid. There we go. I actually don't mind the border radius. And we'll make it this color. This is a rough solution. That means this is 2 digits now. I can like that. Alright. So let's turn up our padding, which will shift everything down because it's also our padding top. 50. There we go. We are much closer. Let's do 105. All right, and is it our borders that are too small? 35. Let's say 40. And let's, of course, shift things back up. Okay, and we can just, there we go. We had to stretch it back out because the border radius was catching those borders, but just move it out into the field where we don't see that. I mean, that's all right. This is pretty good. I'm glad I didn't get too caught up in the original border radius solution. I think that is the way to go. I still think that's the way to go. Let's see if we can get away with Q here. See if 111 works. Gradients are always real finicky with that, so I might not be able to do it. Hey, actually that would have worked with VH because 105 is divisible by 15. Let's see, 90 would be 6. I think it's the same number of characters. So 105 would be 7. So 7 times 5 is 35 VH. So yeah, it's the same. I'm not going to bother with it. Nothing, no other values or characters get rid of. I will take it. This is not top 10. Absolutely not. I know that. And while that is always my goal, actually opportunity here. Nope, wrong way. Let's hit enter. Let's do that. Let's put this back on there because with the gradient last, I can get rid of those characters too. You can, if it's the very last thing, you can get rid of the closing parentheses on the gradient. All right. Yeah, always aiming for top 10, but solved is good. Each day is an exploration. I just want to get better at understanding how things are going to operate. And I'll get there eventually. We all will. Theoretically. Allegedly. Alright. Hope you're having a good time and having fun with this one. This is kind of I like the playing around with different radiuses of circles. I'll catch you later.